I want to talk about how you, whether you're looking to buy into a business, buy into a franchise, or start your own business, you need to watch your back. What do I mean by watching your back? You need to watch your back end. I want to talk about 3 scenarios. 2 of those are the bad scenarios that we can fall into as small business owners or franchisees or anything of the above. And then the last one is where you want to be. Hey, I'm Keith Keppner. I'm the founder of Keppner Boxing and Fitness. I went from being a high school dropout, no college education, having a chronic illness for many years, and only really working 2 jobs in my life, a fast food restaurant and an ice cream shop, to starting my own business from zero, and then building into a multiple 6-figure business, and then along with my partner and wonderful wife, we've grown it about 15 and 20% every single year for the past 8 years. I want to talk about how you, whether you're looking to buy into a business, buy into a franchise, or start your own business, you need to watch your back. What do I mean by watching your back? You need to watch your back end. Because you see, even with buying into a franchise, which is supposed to have all the systems and everything you need to succeed with it, sometimes you're just buying the brand, you're buying the signage, you're maybe buying the equipment, frankly at a pretty big markup too, and you don't get a lot of the back end stuff you need to ensure that you succeed. So I want to talk about 3 scenarios. 2 of those are the bad scenarios that we can fall into as small business owners or franchisees or anything of the above. And then the last one is where you want to be. All right, so the first one is you don't spend anything on marketing. We've been there. You're scared to. You don't want to let any money go out because you're afraid of losing it. It's that fear of loss which controls us too much, right? But what happens is you only get clients coming into your business because just by chance. It's like people like maybe rolling their ankle or whatever. It's by chance. People sometimes fall and trip, and that's about how often you get people coming into your business and signing up. And so therefore your growth is very, very slow, and therefore your results are slow, and you eventually close down, unfortunately, unless you figure something out. Then the next scenario that's also bad is you decide to actually spend some money on marketing, right? You decide to do some Facebook ads, some Instagram ads, whatever it is, and you're putting out the word. The challenge can be, though, with, for instance, the fitness boutique industry, is a lot of times industry average is like 3 to 6 months that you're going to keep somebody. So you spend like, let's say $20 or whatever your cost of acquisition is. You bring them in, get them in there, and then after a few months, they're gone because what you're doing in the sessions is, it gets mundane and you get them to a certain fitness level, but the progress doesn't continue. You don't keep them engaged with like a learning aspect or some type of engagement aspect, and you lose them. Your retention is low, your attrition is high, and therefore you have to immediately try to fill it back up again. It's the same thing as the concept of very simply pouring water in a bucket and there's a hole in the bottom of the bucket, right? If you had a bucket and you were pouring water in there and there was a hole and it was falling out of it, you would stop immediately. But many of us as small business owners, as franchisees, or as people looking to purchase a business, we sometimes overlook this, especially if you don't have a lot of experience. So it's a very important thing to watch out for. The last scenario of the 3 is the one where you want to be, where your cost of acquisition is the same, or if not lower, because you're going to keep clients longer, because you have something along with your service, your product that engages them a little bit more, or it gives them enough variety, something. And remember, variety is not always the answer, because you give someone a lot of variety and no quality. Think about like a crappy buffet, and it's no better than the restaurant that only has 5 things on the menu. Or like I remember a business owner that I've spoken with where they had a menu with like hundreds of items, and then they finally, after years, brought it down to they still had too many things, but probably, let's say, the 30 things that people actually kind of bought, and simplified their whole process. Everything was a lot better. And so remember, it's obviously quantity doesn't always trump quality. Anyway, you keep clients for longer with some type of learning aspect. And so therefore what happens is those clients stay with you longer, and what are they going to naturally do? Besides be more satisfied because they're staying with you longer, they're going to refer more people. Because if someone's with you 3 or 4 times as long, they're going to probably refer 3 or 4 times as many people. With our model, Keppner Boxing, we don't keep people for 3 months, for 6 months, for 9 months, for 12 months. We keep people on average for about 18 months, about 1.5 years. Which is, again, multiples of the industry average. And so, therefore, there's more referrals. And also, the cost of acquisition is lower because you're not having to fill the bucket in. You got the bucket stopped up at the bottom. So, remember this. And so think about the insanity, for instance, though, if you are a small business owner or, again, looking to buy into a franchise or anything else, you're not putting the money into marketing. It's really just like having a bucket and being confused why there's not any water in it. It really makes that much sense. Instead of going over to the faucet, and yeah, it costs money to run your faucet, and you run the faucet, fill up the bucket, you take it over, and now you got some water in your bucket. You can fill up a tub with it or whatever you want to do. But then think about the other analogy, how crazy it is to fill up the bucket and there's a hole. And so, yeah, as you're walking it over to fill up whatever it is, the trough that you want to fill up, you're leaking out all this water and losing most of it. And then, of course, the last one, you're going over, you're filling up the water like you should, and there's no holes, and you're filling up whatever it is you want to fill up, which in your case is your business. This is Coach Keith Keppner. I hope you've gotten something from this video today, and watch out for the next one.